The topic of school bullying is a sensitive affair. For some, it's no more than a mild annoyance, while for others, bullying can be so bad that they are willing to take their own life in order to escape the everyday harassment. Now, as you know, schools always proclaim to have a 0% tolerance for bullying within the classroom and playground, and they will have procedures in place to deal with such bad behaviour. Well, that's at least what they claim. And for that child, who do they turn to when they're being bullied at school? Their teacher, of course, the saviour of the classroom. But for myself and for countless others, you soon find that very little is done about the bullying, and you are left alone and vulnerable. Now, before I get started, I would like to state that not all teachers are like the ones that I will soon mention. Some teachers will deal with the problem there and then and put an end to it with a happy resolve, but for other teachers, their method of dealing with bullying is far from a happy ending for some children. So today's episode is dedicated to the awful ways teachers ignore bullying. The Playtime Punishment. So, little Timmy goes to his teacher, and he says to his teacher that John Smith is bullying him during playtime. So what does the hero of the hour say? "Oh, that's no good. If you want, little Timmy, during break time you can sit at your desk if you want. That way John Smith won't be able to bully you during playtime." So little Timmy thinks about this, and says to his teacher, "But that would mean that he wouldn't be able to play and would be stuck inside. Couldn't you make John Smith stay inside during playtime instead?" And the teacher replies with a resounding no. This is utter bullshit. Little Timmy is the one being punished here, whereas nothing is actually being done about the bullying. All that's happened is the teacher has just left little Timmy with the choice of being bullied or being punished. How the fuck is that fair in any reality? Well, if you think this example is bad, they get worse. The home time punishment. This one is very similar to the playtime punishment. In this example, tiny Charlotte goes to her teacher and says that after school, Jane Smith is following her home and colouring her names and hitting her as she walks. "Oh teacher, what can you do to help me?" And yes, what does the teacher suggest? "Oh, that's no good. If you want, after school you can sit at your desk for another 10 minutes, and then that way when you leave, Jane Smith can't follow you home and bully you." So tiny Charlotte thinks about this for a moment and says, "But couldn't you keep Jane Smith back 10 minutes before letting her go?" And the teacher says, "Oh no, we can't do that. That would be unfair." So tiny Charlotte is again left with either being bullied or being punished and be made to stay back for an extra 10 minutes. But this is bullshit. All that fucking happens is Jane Smith would wait for tiny Charlotte to come out of school and then continue with her daily enjoyment of bullying her. All that tiny Charlotte gets out of this is getting home 10 minutes late and still being bullied. In short, fuck all has been done about the bullying. But tiny Charlotte is confident that she's done the right thing by talking to the teacher, even though nothing has been done. The guilt trip. Yeah, if you're unaware of this one, you're in for a treat. So, little Simon goes to his teacher and says John Smith is always picking on him and hurting him on the playground and in the classroom, and that he's really emotionally and physically hurt. And the teacher, wow! The teacher says, "Oh, but don't you think you should feel sorry for poor John Smith?" And at this point, little Simon is confused, as he should be. So he asks, "Why? Why should I feel sorry for John Smith?" And the teacher replies, "Oh, well, when children come to school and bully other children, it means they come from a bad family, that they have a really hard home life and that they are always being hit by their parents. And so in short, they come to school and pick on other children as a way of venting out their frustration. So really, you should feel sorry for John Smith." Just fucking well done. Whoever pulled that one out of their ass is a fucking genius. You should feel sorry for the person that is beating you up. No fucking child should be told to feel sorry for the person that is beating them up. But it happens. The teacher has managed to turn the whole situation on its head. The child being bullied is now the one at fault, while the bully is made out to be the fucking victim. Just fucking well done, teacher, well done. Nothing gets done about the bullying problem, but now you've made the actual victim question everything. Well done. Now, if it was true, and the bully was indeed being bullied at home, I would perhaps feel sorry for them. But the moment they come to school and start hurting other people, they are no longer the victim, they are the knobhead that needs fucking slapping down. The Rationalization. Here is another prime example of avoiding the real problem at hand. So, little Annie goes to her teacher and says that Jane Smith is picking on her, calling her names and hurting her on the playground and in the classroom. And the teacher on this occasion says, "Well, you really should feel bad for Jane Smith." And little Annie says, "But why?" And the teacher replies by saying, "Well, this is the best Jane Smith will ever have it. When she leaves school she will go nowhere with her life, while you will move on to great things and look back on Jane Smith and feel sorry for her." Yep, some teachers actually say this. Now let's have a reality check. What ends up actually happening is, little Annie will probably continue to be bullied at school and then end up leaving school with the self-worth of a bag of rubbish and have no confidence in herself to do anything or to try anything. While Jane Smith will leave school full of confidence and go straight into work and achieve things that little Annie could only dream of achieving. So yes, nothing gets done, the bullying isn't actually addressed, it's just pushed aside, leaving little Annie confused and still being picked on. Now these 4 examples during the video are things I actually went through. And at the time, I was sure I'd done the right thing by telling the teacher, but when I look back, nothing was actually done. The saying is, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, it's wrong. Words can cut deeper and last longer than any physical pain. The bullying stays with you. So all I want to say really is, no child should be told that they should feel sorry for their bully. No child should be told to rationalise the bullying, and no child should be punished for being bullied. I'd like to know in the comments below if any of you have ever had to deal with these responses when talking to a teacher about bullying. And I'd definitely like to know as well if you've experienced any other ways of how your teacher ignored bullying within the school. This was me talking about bullying. Thank you for watching.